What's up, y'all? Let me start this video off by saying a lot of these videos, I'm talking to myself as well. All right? The antidote to nobody cares. Okay? I found that the remedy, the antidote, is in the poison, is in the very thing that you curse, is in the very thing that you despise. It's all a coin. Everything is a coin. We just choose to conveniently focus on one side or the other. All right? So when you talk about, oh, nobody cares. Nobody cares about my music. Nobody cares about my digital product. Nobody cares about my book, whatever it is. You know, you're focusing on nobody's directly uh, listening to your music, buying your music, whatever it is. And if you even got to that point, a lot of people, they want others to encourage them. They want others to celebrate them before they've even done anything. All right? Before they've even accomplished anything. You want to be driven by motivation. You want people to march on with you on your journey. It's your journey. Okay? You should expect to go along. But here's the thing. Let's talk about the antidote. Nobody cares as much as you think they do. All right? And now I'm shifting. I'm talking about as far as your fear of what other people may have to say, or you risk embarrassing yourself. You risk looking like a fool. You know, but you pay the ultimate price every time you choose not to risk looking like a fool. All right, because what you're left with is feeling like a fool for not taking that risk. All right, a lot of successful people that I've found, they have endured a lot of embarrassment, mockery, and derision along the way. A lot more than anybody who's ever started. And that's the key. Be willing to make a fool out of yourself. I'm not saying go out of your way to look like a fool. I mean, look, some people do that, and it works for them. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that every shot is not going to hit. Every shot is not going to hit. It could be a little bit disappointing, but the genius thing to do is to get back at it. Is to stick with it. Like I'll tell you, because I tell you that these videos are probably more so for me than anybody else. That I'll put my heart into a YouTube video and I say, oh, this is the one. This is the one. And nobody will watch it. But I can't really say nobody, because 12 people, that's somebody, right? So, all I can really do is, if you know anything about me, you know I'm not religious at all. But in the Bible, it says, in Psalm 82:6, I believe, it says, ye are gods, So to be made in the image of God, to me, that means that we have to be creatives, that we have to stretch, we have to grow, we have to be fruitful, we have to produce. So I have to produce. When I'm not producing, I feel empty in a sense. It's paradoxical. I mean, it's like I don't actually feel empty at all. Actually, I feel full of resentment. I feel full of confusion, full of anger, full of hopelessness. But when I empty myself out as far as producing, creating, putting it out there, in some ways I feel full. It reminds me of one of my favorite books. It's called Die Empty. Die Empty. Like, what are you waiting on? You waiting until your death day to do everything you've been meaning to do? Every time You do something you've been meaning to do. You're living the dream. All right. It doesn't matter in its entirety if it's giving you millions of dollars, if you're famous or not. You're living the dream. Every time you say, "Oh, I wanted to be a singer," and you sing, you're living the dream. You wanted to be a writer and you write, you're living the dream. You wanted to be a business owner and you're working on the business, you're living the dream. And don't let nobody convince you anything otherwise. Because nobody who's truly successful at what they do will try to judge others, will try to look down on others. Only insecure people do that. Only people who've given up on themselves would do that. You know, what more can I say? That's the antidote. You should hope that nobody cares right now, because people who care too much, they just get in the way. All right? For better or for worse, no matter their intentions, when people care, they get in the way. All right? Release that thought. Release the thought that people really care about what you're doing. Nobody cares. All right? More importantly, you shouldn't care. All right? Because it just becomes a whole losing chess match in your mind. You're trying to cater to people who may never even care, and you're fixated on people who aren't even thinking about, oh, I, I hope he's not working on something that I can judge when he puts it out. You know, like as soon as he put it out, like, so what? It doesn't even make sense. There's no proper way for me to even express our fears, because they, you know, most of what we fear doesn't exist anyway. All right, so just leave it alone. All right, care more about yourself, and hey, get to it. All right, so best wishes.